This is an interesting ability he has, since imagine him explaining to someone that he could see events in the future that hopefully don't cause him to have the heart attack, and ask if they can help him explain his insanity to someone. Good fucking luck. I'm sorry, but good fucking luck, because it's almost a default to label someone insane if they say something like that. And outside of a late night, early morning discussion with people who you already know when you're having alcohol and, you know, shit like that, even touching on those topics is almost a social taboo because it's considered out there. So for him, a complete stranger who comes out of nowhere, good luck. I had some chips, so that's why I'm coughing. Don't worry, I'm not dying. All right, I'm reading everyone's comments. Let's jump into episode 8 while we're at it. It's 6:45. We've still got plenty of time. I drove Hutch in here, so she's going to be able to edit when I'm done. All good in the hood. Episode 8. Let's see how this goes. Well, he's back. Where's my subtitles? Son of a bitch, where are my subtitles? I would at least try leaving notes about the ability to test the limits of the curse. Of course. Though I have a feeling that if you can't talk about it, I think also writing about it would probably be a no-no. But of course, you would test the limitations of what you can do, but I have a feeling. What the fuck are you two doing? Get out of your own way! Sorry, I'm going to have to stop screaming because I remember last week Hutchins said that people that she's doing her English lessons with can actually hear me screaming. So I have to watch what I say, in particularly in Japanese. Jesus. Jesus, I'm so loud. The whole building can probably hear me because of the echo. Imagine how cringy this is, considering, you know, she's only met him once, and that was at the loot house, and he just woke up the morning after, and he's basically saying all this cringy shit to her. I mean, at this point, you might as well get on all fours and propose to her. I mean, pfft. Mate. I love watching openings because you notice all these little things. Yeah, I don't notice anyone out of place in the opening. It's just him. Ah, and it does the whole intro backwards. Gotcha. Oh, interesting. Oh, God damn it. Okay. For the love of a tuna, if you are going to be practicing kendo, you don't want the weight at the bottom. You want the weight at the top. And don't do it with two hands, do it with one. Because if you're doing it with one, you'll have the muscle capacity to do it with two. And actually, most of the sword is held on one hand, but what would I know? I only did kendo. So do it that way. And this should be all the way at the bottom here, and this should be on the end. I mean, what they actually do is they put weights on shinai, and that develops the muscle on your hand so you don't get tired when you're using it. Because swords are obviously more heavy. So you put like 3-4 kilograms on the tip of your shinai, and then you just do that 1,000 times. Good luck doing it 100 times, but like, that's how you should be doing it. Because this makes absolutely no sense. All the weight is in the hilt. It's not a lightsaber, dude. What is she talking to? Shadow? I was gonna guess, is there shadow and light in this one? But if he has shadow, maybe that's not even his. Wait, what if he's doing this to himself? Oh, what is this zero escape shit? What if he's literally doing this to himself? He's cucking himself. My God. Wait, so he can learn how to use mana and magic. Fucking start doing it, you cunt! Nani? Wait a minute. The fuck? Sensu bean? Jesus, she's giving him a guidebook to her heart. Oh. Wait, Nani? So, about that smell. Did he take 2 lines of cocaine or something? What the fuck? You're gonna get yourself killed. How much you want to bet that he's going to walk in the room and there's going to be a, what's it called? What do they call that thing? When they try to stop someone from doing something. You know, that thing where they get like a banner that stops them from doing something. Like, we're worried about your drug habit. Come on, you guys know what it is. No, not a seal. It's, You know, when all your loved ones ambush you and try to convince you that they all love you and that they're worried about you. It's called a something. Come on, it's a something. Why do I have a mental blank? It's a, come on guys, you know what? An intervention. Yes, that's the one. An intervention. A confrontation. Confrontation. It's an intervention. He walks into an intervention. Everyone's worried about his drug habit. Because if I saw someone doing this for 3 days straight, I would think they have a drug addiction. Like, who does this? This is the weirdest shit. The fuck? Did her boobs just grow 2 sizes? Huh? What the fuck is this reverse bullshittery? I'm sorry, but I felt really weird watching this. I felt really fucking weird. I was like, oh, he gets to use her lap as a pillow. That's cool, you lucky bastard. Oh, she's playing with your hair. Oh, you know, she likes you. That's nice, you lucky bastard. And then he breaks down crying and says he might fall in love with her. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then he just breaks down completely. And I'm just like, I'm at a loss for words. I'm sorry. I can't describe yeah. And just like that, Emilia just helped him with objective one. He has gained the trust of the family, and now that's one out of two things done. Well, by him trying to learn how to use mana, they were able to gauge his proficiency, and he's completely useless at it. So, one, he's not being perceived as a magic user threat. So clearly, while he's got the witch's smell, he doesn't have the ability to use it. Two, he's managed to, at the very least, get the sympathy or... Look, I'm not a girl, but I'm just imagining that she finds him adorable because he's trying so hard. That's the way I'm interpreting it. And as a result, she sees him as not being bad. He's quirky, but he's got a good heart and he's coming from a good place. And given that she said to Rem that he's not a bad person, I have a feeling that she knows that Rem is eyeing him. I mean, I think without realizing, he might have just saved his own skin, but how do I say this without coming across as a dick? I am somewhat disgusted that he has broken down the way he has. But I think that's more me internalizing my own disgust for emotions myself. But that's just, yeah. Anyways, yeah. I mean, I can understand where the kid is coming from because I used to be very sort of down and out myself in my earlier years. And I came to hate that about myself, and eventually I just grew out of it. But I felt really weird watching that. I just sort of felt, yeah, it was a bit of an experience. Let's continue before I say something that pisses people off. The damn kids. Those fucking kids. People need to let things out sometimes. It can help them move on and do better when they no longer have to push down all that baggage and all those emotions. Kuma, stop being a stereotypical man. Emotions are good things. The way I dealt with a very challenging part in my life, and I don't know where I got the idea from, but I basically thought, what would a much stronger version of myself that has already previously dealt with this situation do? And then I would also think, what would that person say? And so I just kept doing that logic check every time I felt down and out and defeated. And the logic check was, 1, well, get the fuck up and stop crying. 2, stop feeling sorry for yourself. 3, things like that. And after a while, every single time I felt unmotivated or demotivated or a little bit depressed or a little bit defeated, I would go through that logic check, and I would just, after a while, I started almost conditioning myself. And eventually it got to the point that my natural reaction to a challenge is bring it on. If I'm feeling a little bit nervous about something, my brain says, you're excited. This is going to be fun, So I've almost reprogrammed myself into reacting to situations very differently to the way that I did, and it became my norm. And I think that it's not me being stereotypical with whatever societal values are thrown and expected on guys, but it's more so that I absolutely hated myself for being so weak that I wanted to reprogram myself. And by doing so, I managed to get through very tough situations. So I think it's more so that I project that hatred of myself onto other characters that start acting like that. That would be my rationale for why I feel so weirded out by seeing that. I would not even be able to fathom doing that now. It is okay that your gripe about that scene, I don't know how you interpreted it. Yeah, that's fair. Everyone's got their own different way, but that's where my headspace is at. I mean, that's just the sort of process that I've gone through the past, how many years? 8-ish, and it's worked for me so far. It's got me through life, so, But then again, I was the runt of the litter, right? I was always the young kid. I was always the little kid. I was always the little helpless one that couldn't do anything. I was the easy target at school that the bullies would pick on. I was the little defenseless kid, right? That was me. So that's why I hated myself. And that's why I sort of started changing myself the way that I did, because I didn't like being a victim of my circumstances. I'm like, fuck that shit. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from. It's not a malicious, guys should be tough. It's more of a, ew, sort of thing. I'd say it's less hate and more disgust, really. That's how I would describe it. So the next step is to start murdering those kids one by one, and through the process of elimination, figuring out which one applied the curse. I'm going to bet it's that kid that jumped on him at the back and bit him. Thank you. And he just died again. Wait, she's wearing different clothes? She's reprogramming him. He needs to learn how to keep his mouth shut. That's the one thing I've noticed about girls, and I find that actually quite interesting, and I hope that a girl could explain it to me because I'm probably misinterpreting the situation. Well, I might be, I might not be. When a guy's not interested in girls or is not dating a girl or something like that, it's all meh. But as soon as a guy's interested in a girl or he's dating a girl, suddenly all the girls come out of the woodworks and they're interested. I'm curious, what's the motivation for that? Is it, hang on a minute, what's going on there? Or is it kind of like a, oh, so he's into her. Well, I'm better, aren't I? What's the sort of motivation going on there? I've had it happen a few times. Supply and demand. So what? Suddenly, just because you demanded, you have a higher value relative to what you previously had? I'm just curious. I'm very curious. Guys get more pep in the step when they're in love. Well, their body's pumping endorphins like crazy. Chicks usually like that. So it's the confidence boost. It's the confidence boost. It's the 20 cc's of endorphins right in the brain, right? And they want a piece of that. They're like, hang on, I get it. Makes sense. I thought so. I just wanted to double check. Confidence in the fact that we can tell they are able to make someone happy. Ah. So it's a little bit of a qualifying thing. Like if he's good for someone else, he might be good enough for me. I get it. Okay. I see. I figured. So that's why married men are always such a target, right? Oh, his husband material. Interesting. So, use the weak girls to test the water before swiping him yourself. I don't think girls would want someone that plays the field too much. I mean, unless they're in for it just for that. But, yeah. All right, let's take a quick break and jump into episode 9. Clearly the timeline's changing, and clearly those little brats are doing something. These little kids, man. What is it with anime and evil little kids? I'm gonna be absolutely terrified of little kids if I keep watching anime, because we have Dark Alessa from Silent Hill, and we've got all those other evil kids from anime, which I will not mention. Yes, we will be doing Full Metal Alchemist Abridged. We've still got plenty of time. Don't worry. Quick little break, we'll do episode 9 and we'll carry on. Ultra Despair Girl flashbacks. Those kids weren't evil. Those kids were victims, and their way of dealing with the trauma was trying to get back at adults. I don't blame any of the kids from Ultra Despair Girls. I don't even blame Monica from Ultra Despair Girls, because what was done to her was absolutely monstrous. And you can't blame a child for getting a twisted and warped view of the world after undergoing that much abuse. It's not the child's fault. Girls mostly also don't like players, so they kind of have to show that they can genuinely care for the person instead of stringing them around. If we see that they're just playing around to get a bigger target, they'll just look bad. Figured as much. I won't say anything, but that was a fun little thing to figure. People are funny. I really like the differing motivations between men and women when it comes to relationships, and the different things that each gender looks for. I find it quite fascinating, but also just watching it unfold is very interesting. It's very interesting. Very interesting. All right, quick little break and we'll be right back. That ended on a high note, so maybe I shouldn't play a down and out song like Zero Escape. Maybe I should put something a little more pumpy. That would be really nice if I have a pumpy track, if someone has something they want to play. Otherwise, I'll find something really quickly to play that's a little more pump up. And I noticed a little bit of anime techno in the previous episode. At some point, I'm definitely going to have to download the soundtrack because it's pretty good. Ooh, I found the perfect song. I'm sorry, I found the perfect song. And psychology is very fun. I had to learn psychology because I was socially challenged. I was the guy that you would need. You know those lights that they have on a runway? You would effectively need those lights as well as people with those, stick lights to point out the obvious. Thinking back, I was so oblivious to so many opportunities I had because I could not pick up social cues to save my life. I still can't pick up social cues. The only social cues that I can pick up are the ones that I've read about and I've learnt about. I don't actually pick up social cues at all. I am useless when it comes to picking up social cues. I have to do it knowingly. Otherwise, I'm useless. So I'm always fascinated to hear from people what certain things are that naturally pick up these cues and naturally think in this way, because I don't. And I found that the type of people that I find that are very like-minded to myself are very similar. Their EQ is learned and studied. I don't want to say socially challenged, but they are as much as myself. All right, I found the perfect song given what has just happened. Quick little break and we'll be right back.
Hey, did I hand you a shrinking potion by accident? I could have sworn that was the gender swapping one.
Don't be hating. She's fun size, that's all. She doesn't even have to get on her knees to blow.
You want to add anything to that conversation?
Nope, I'm good. In fact, I think your new size makes you an even more formidable and stealthy ninja.